How's it going, everyone? My name is Ace Abade, and welcome to another video. Generation 3 of Pokemon. Where do you even start with this one? The series got a graphical update in 2002, being on a new system with Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And that upgrade meant catching all the Pokemon was actually impossible, due to backwards compatibility not being a thing between the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. So much so that starting in Generation 3, "Gotta catch 'em all" was dropped as the slogan. It wasn't until 2004 that catching the vast majority of the missing Pokemon was possible when the Kanto games were remade from the ground up in Generation 3 style. This brought in the rest of the missing Kanto Pokemon, as well as some of the Johto Pokemon that were missing from Ruby and Sapphire. Pokemon Emerald also brought in some missing Johto Pokemon. Unless you were lucky enough to be able to attend events for other Pokemon like Ho-Oh and Lugia, there were still Pokemon missing. Luckily, in 2003 and 2005 respectively, Pokemon Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness were released, giving us the last of the Pokemon we were missing, skipping the mythical Pokemon Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, and Deoxys. With all those games together, you can collect 382 out of 386 Pokemon, and it'll only cost you $9,001.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right!
But now we have to figure out, is it possible to get a complete living dex in Generation 3? Well, let's find out. The rules are simple. Collect one of every Pokemon in the game. We're going to use Pokemon Emerald as our base and the other 6 games to collect the missing Pokemon. There actually will be 3 missing Pokemon from the video, but Ace, you said there were 4 that you won't be able to get. And yes, you would be correct normally. However, there is one Pokemon we are able to get. Put your answers in the comments below and see if you're correct. Also, no glitches or exploits. There is one really helpful glitch that you can do, but that's for another video. This was streamed over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/aceabade. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Once again, we start the game in the back of a moving truck. Wait, what? We talk to our mom, who tells us to go check out our room. After missing our dad on TV, wait, we have a father in a Pokemon game? We go next door to meet our neighbor/rival, who tells us they're busy, so we go up north to see a person being chased by a raccoon dog and proceed to pick our starter Pokemon, Mudkip. After saving the professor from a Zigzagoon, we are given Mudkip as our starter, but we're not going to count it yet. Professor Birch asks us to go find our rival. We go to Route 103 and win the battle pretty easily. We make it back to the lab, and Professor Birch gives us a Pokedex, and our rival gives us 5 Pokeballs, so we can start the challenge. On Route 101, we're able to catch 1 Poochyena, and on Route 103, we caught 1 Zigzagoon and 1 Wingull, bringing the total to 3 Pokemon. We also go to Route 102 to catch 1 Wurmple, 2 Lotad, 3 Seedot, and 3 Ralts, bringing the total to 7 Pokemon. On Route 104, we catch 1 Taillow. In Petalburg Woods, we catch 2 Cascoon, 2 Silcoon, and 3 Slakoth. It was time to get our first badge from Roxanne. Roxanne! She starts with 2 Geodude, but both get one-shot by Mudkip with Water Gun. Last up is her Nosepass, who uses Block as we go for 2 Water Gun, and it goes for Tackle. It heals with an Oranberry, and crits with Tackle as we go for another Water Gun. Roxanne heals with a Potion as we go for 2 Mudslap, and it goes for Harden. Roxanne heals with another Potion as we go for Water Gun. It goes for Tackle as we go for a Water Gun. One more Water Gun takes it out, giving us our first badge, evolving Mudkip into Marshtomp in the process. Making our way to Rustsurf Tunnel, we catch 3 Whismur. And on Route 116 we catch 2 Nincada, 1 Abra, and 2 Skitty. On our way out of Petalburg Woods, we catch 2 Shrimish, bringing the total to 16 Pokemon. We talk to Mr. Briny, who we helped out in Rustsurf Tunnel, and get a ride to Dewford Town. In Granite Cave, we catch 2 Abra, 2 Zubat, 1 Aaron, 1 Sableye, 1 Geodude, and 1 Makuhita, bringing the total to 21 Pokemon. It was then time to get our second gym badge from Broly.
Hello, what is your power level?
Because my power is maximal!
I mean Brawly. Brawly starts off with Machop. We use 2 Double Team as it goes for a Bulk Up. It then goes for Seismic Toss. We go for Confusion as it goes for Seismic Toss again. We take it out with another Confusion. Next up is Meditite. We heal with a potion as it goes for a focus punch, taking us out. We send out Wingull and go for wing attack as it can't use focus punch. We take it out with another wing attack. Last up is Makuhita. We go for Growl as it goes for Vital Throw. This goes on for a couple of rounds as it goes for Bulk Up. We land a Supersonic as it hits itself in confusion. We then go for Wing Attack as it goes for Vital Throw. We go for another Wing Attack as it takes us out with Vital Throw. We send out Marshtop next as it heals up with a Citrus Berry. We lower its speed by 6 with Mud Shot, getting hit with Vital Throw and Reversal throughout while Brawly healed up and getting taken out with an Arm Thrust. We bring out Shroomish to finish off Makuhita with Absorb, getting our second badge. Our next stop is Route 110, where we catch 1 Oddish, 1 Electrike, 2 Gulpin, and 1 Minun, bringing the total to 25 Pokemon. Back in Slateport City, we go fishing for 1 Magikarp. On the way to Mauville City, Ralts evolved into Kirlia, but we won't count it yet. West of Mauville City on Route 117, we catch 2 Marill, 1 Illumise, and evolve Shroomish into Breloom, bringing the total to 29 Pokemon. It was time to take on the Mauville Gym for our third badge. Watson starts off with Voltorb, who uses Rollout. It gets one-shot by Marshtomp's Mud Shot. Next up is Electrike, who uses Quick Attack and gets one-shot by Mud Shot. Next up is Magneton, who uses Supersonic as we hit ourselves in confusion. Magneton uses Sonic Boom as we take it out with a Mud Shot. Last up is Manectric. As we swap in Breloom, we land a Mach Punch as it goes for Howl. Manectric uses Quick Attack as we go for Leech Seed. We swap in Marshtomp and get hit with a Quick Attack and heal a little from the Leech Seed. Manectric uses 1 more Quick Attack as we take it out with Mud Shot, getting our third badge. Back on Route 117, we catch 1 Volbeat. On Route 10, we get 1 Plusle. North of Mauville on Route 112, we catch 2 Numel, and in the Fiery Path, we catch 2 Coughing, 3 Machop, 2 Slugma, 1 Torkoal, and 2 Grimer, bringing the total to 37 Pokemon. On Route 113, we catch 1 Spinda and 1 Skarmory. We then take the time to evolve Silcoon into Beautifly, Cascoon into Dustox, Lotad into Lombre, and Seedot into Nuzleaf. On Route 114, we catch 1 Swablu and 1 Seviper. In Meteor Falls, we catch 1 Solrock. After making a loop around Hoenn, we make it up to Mount Chimney and make it down the jagged path. There were some people having a Pokemon party, but for the most part, they let me down the mountain. We've run into them a couple of times on the journey, but they weren't really worth mentioning. On the jagged path, we were able to catch 2 Spoink, bringing the total to 47 Pokemon. It was then time to take on the Lava Ridge Gym and get our 4th badge from Mommy. Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Let me try that again. Flannery. To get the gym badge from Flannery. Flannery starts with Numel. 1 Water Gun takes it out. Next up is Slugma, and 1 Mud Shot takes it out. Next up is Camerupt. We go for Water Gun as it goes for Sunny Day. We go for Mud Shot and take it out. Last up is Torkoal. We go for Mud Shot as it goes for Attract. We swap in Kirlia as it goes for Body Slam. We use Psychic as it uses Body Slam, taking us out. We send in Marshtomp to take it out with Mud Shot, winning the 4th badge. In the process, we evolve Nincada into Ninjask, as well as getting Shedinja, giving us 49 Pokemon. We go ahead and use our Moonstone to evolve Skitty into Delcatty. We go east towards Route 111 where the desert is to catch 1 Baltoy, 3 Trapinch, 2 Sandshrew, and 2 Cacnea, giving us 54 Pokemon. It was time to take on our father at the Petalburg Gym. Norman starts with Spinda. We use Mach Punch as it hits us with Psybeam. We use another Mach Punch to take it out. Next up is Vigoroth. We use Mach Punch as it uses Facade. Another Mach Punch takes it out. Next up is Linoon. We heal up as it uses Slash. We use Mach Punch as it goes for Slash again. Another Mach Punch takes it out. Last out is Slaking as we swap in Marshtomp. We start with Mud Shot as it uses Counter. Slaking misses a turn due to Truant as we use another Mud Shot. We use Growl as it goes for Facade. We use Mud Shot as it skips its turn. Another Growl as it takes us out with Feint Attack. Breloom comes back out. We heal up as we get hit with Facade. We use Leech Seed as it skips its turn. We go for Mega Drain to bypass Counter. After a few turns of healing, we go for Mach Punch as it goes for counter, falling asleep due to Breloom's ability. We take it out with another Mach Punch and Leech Seed, winning the fight and getting the 5th badge. After the fight, we talk to Wally's father to get Surf, allowing us to obtain more Pokemon. On our way to New Mauville, we catch 2 Tentacle, and in New Mauville, we catch 2 Magnemite, 1 Electrode, and 1 Voltorb, bringing the total to 58 Pokemon. We also go back to the desert ruins to get the Claw Fossil for later. To borrow a line from Madrybread, I know if I didn't say which one I picked up, you would all ask. Now that I think about it, you should ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. On Route 118, we catch 1 Manectric, 1 Linoon, and our Gulpin evolved into Swaylet, giving us 61 Pokemon. After helping the people in the Weather Institute, we received a gift cast form. Outside of the Weather Institute, we catch 1 Tropius, and on Route 120, we catch 1 Kecleon, bringing the total to 64. It was time to take on the 4-tree gym for the 6th badge. Winona starts with Swablu. We use Psychic as it uses Mirror Move to copy Psychic. After a few turns of using Calm Mind, it uses Perish Song. We take it out with a Psychic. Next up is Tropius. We almost take it out with a Psychic, but it hits us with Aerial Ace. We then swap in Marshtomp as it heals up. We take it out with an Ice Beam. Next up is Pelipper, and we send in Linoon. We heal up Kirlia as it fails a Protect. It goes for Protect again, blocking our Headbutt. After a few turns of it using Protect, we take Pelipper out with Headbutt. Next up is Skarmory. We send in Breloom. We go for Leech Seed as it takes us out with Aerial Ace. Next up is Kirlia. It goes for Sand Attack as we go for Psychic. It goes for Steel Wing as we use Psychic. This goes on for a few turns, in addition to healing, until Skarmory uses Steel Wing, taking us out. We send in Marshtomp, who finishes off Skarmory waiting for Leech Seed. Last up is Altaria, who uses Earthquake as we go for Ice Beam. Another use of Earthquake as we take it out with another Ice Beam, winning the fight and the 6th badge. After the gym battle, we evolve Marshtomp in the Swampert, giving us 65 Pokemon. On our way to Lily Cove City, we catch 1 Mightyena, 1 Absol, 1 Shuppet, 3 Gloom. We also evolve Zubat into Golbat, and then into Crobat, Kirlia into Gardevoir, and Numel into Camerupt, giving us 72 Pokemon. At Mount Pyre, we catch 2 Duskull, 2 Vulpix, and at the summit, 1 Chimecho. We also go back and get an egg in Lava Ridge Town. I forgot to mention this blue pirate stealing an orb to cause global warming or something. I'm sure that won't be an issue later. In the Magma Hideout, we catch 2 Graveler and evolve Ralts into Kirlia, bringing the total to 77 Pokemon. We also run into this red dude who wakes up a Pokemon that's going to expand the land or something, I don't know. We also get Slaykoth to evolve into Vigoroth that we won't count yet, and catch a Pelipper. It was time to get our 7th badge from the Moss Deep Gym. They start with Zaytu and Claydol. We might be a bit underleveled. Zaytu uses Calm Mind, and Claydol uses Earthquake. Gardevoir goes for Thunderbolt, and Swampert uses Surf. Zaytu uses Sunny Day, and Claydol goes for Earthquake again, taking out Gardevoir. Tropius is out next, as Swampert goes for a weak Surf. Zaytu uses Psychic, taking out Swampert, as a fully revived Gardevoir comes out. Claydol goes for Psychic on Gardevoir. Zaytu takes out Tropius with the Psychic, and Swampert is back out. Claydol goes for Earthquake, and Gardevoir goes for Double Team. Zaytu goes for Psychic, and Claydol uses Earthquake again. Swampert uses Ice Beam, taking out Zaytu. Solrock is up next. Claydol goes for Earthquake, and Solrock goes for Solar Beam. Swampert uses Surf, taking out Claydol. Last out is Lunatone. Gardevoir goes for Calm Mind, and Solrock misses Solar Beam towards Gardevoir. Lunatone takes out Swampert with a Psychic. Swampert comes back out with a Max Revive. Lunatone uses Psychic on Gardevoir. Gardevoir gets healed up, and Swampert gets taken out with Solar Beam. Lunatone goes for Calm Mind. Gardevoir also uses Calm Mind a couple more times, as Solrock hits with Solar Beam, and Lunatone uses Hypnosis. We wake up and take out Solrock with a Thunderbolt, and Lunatone misses Psychic. Swampert comes back out and gets hit with Hypnosis. We go for Thunderbolt, and Lunatone hits Swampert with a Psychic. We go for Thunderbolt again, and Lunatone takes Swampert out. We go for Thunderbolt again, Lunatone misses Hypnosis, and we take it out with the last Thunderbolt, winning the battle and the 7th badge. We find the red dude at the Moss Deep Space Center trying to steal rocket fuel to try and melt steel beams or something, I don't know. These eco-terrorists are a bit wacky. On Route 119, we fish for 1 Carvana, 2 Phoebos, hatch Why Not. In Petalburg City we get 2 Corefish and 1 Goldeen. In Dewford Town we catch 2 Whalmer. In Moss Deep we get 1 Sharpedo. On Route 115 we get 2 Jigglypuff and 1 Swellow. In Granite Cave we get 1 Nosepass. In Lily Cove we catch 2 Staryu. Now that Blue Pirate woke up another Pokemon and says the planet will flood in 40 days and 40 nights or something, I don't know. After that we dive underwater and catch 3 Clamperl, 2 Chinchou, and 1 Relicanth. And in Sootopolis we get 1 Water Onix, bringing the total to 93 Pokemon. At Sky Pillar we catch 1 Altaria, 1 Banette, 1 Golbat, and 1 very explosive Claydol, bringing the total to 97. We go to see Shenron, but he flies off before he can make a wish. When we get back to Sootopolis, Shenron asks if the other 2 Pokemon would like to extend their car's warranty, but they take off. While fighting trainers in the gym, Vigoroth evolves into Slaking. It was time to get our 8th badge in Sootopolis. Juan starts with Love Disc. It uses Attract and then Water Pulse twice as we go for Hyper Beam, taking it out. We send out Breloom as Whiscash comes out. It goes for Rain Dance as we go for Mega Drain. It uses Water Pulse as we go for Mega Drain again. After healing, we go for Mega Drain twice as it goes for Water Pulse. 1 more Water Pulse as we finish it off with Mega Drain. We send out Gardevoir as Celio comes out. We go for Thunderbolt as it goes for Body Slam, paralyzing us as it gets paralyzed too. 1 more Thunderbolt takes it out. We send out Breloom as Crawdaunt comes out. We use Mach Punch as it goes for Crabhammer. We heal as it goes for Water Pulse. We use Mach Punch as it goes for Crabhammer. It heals as we go for 2 Mach Punch, and it goes for Taunt. 1 more Mach Punch takes it out. We send out Slate King as Kingdra comes out. It goes for Double Team as we go for Yawn. It does Double Team again and falls asleep and immediately wakes up. It hits us with Ice Beam as we land Hyper Beam. It goes for Rest and does Double Team. We land a Hyper Beam as it goes for Rest. It maxes out its evasion with Double Team as we miss our attack. It takes us out with a Water Pulse and an Ice Beam. Swampert comes out and eats an Ice Beam as we miss ours. Another Ice Beam as we land ours. We trade Ice Beams for a bit, and it takes us out. We send out a healed Swampert and eat an Ice Beam, getting frozen and defrosted in the same turn. We trade attacks for a bit, missing ours as it goes for Water Pulse, getting confused, and landing an Ice Beam. It goes for Rest as we send out Breloom. We use Leech Seed as it's still asleep. A couple of rounds of missing Mach Punch, and it waking up with Water Pulse as we swap in Gardevoir. We use Calm Mind 4 times as it goes for Rest. It wakes up, goes for Water Pulse, and we land a Psychic, taking it out and getting our 8th badge. On Victory Road, we catch 1 Hariyama, 2 Loudred, 1 Mawile, 2 Lyron, 1 Barboach, and 1 Whiscash, bringing the total to 104 Pokemon. We go to Shoal Cave to catch 3 Spheal and 2 Snorunt, Evergrade City to catch 1 Love Disc, Meteor Falls to catch 3 Bagon, and Route 132 to catch 3 Horsey, bringing the total to 109. Now it's time to fight the Elite Four. Sydney's up first and starts with Mightyena. Mightyena goes for 2 rounds of Sand Attack as we miss our Sky Uppercut. It goes for Double Edge as we land a Sky Uppercut. We swap in Loudred as it heals up and goes for Double Edge. We swap in Breloom again as it goes for Crunch, and then goes for Double Edge. We take it out with a Sky Uppercut. Next up is Absol, who takes us out with an Aerial Ace. We send in Slaking and hit it with Slash as it goes for 2 Rock Slide as we slack off. Another slash takes it out. Next up is Shiftry, who does 2 rounds double team and then swagger. We take it out with slash. Next up is Cacturn, who goes for needle arm. We take it out with a slash. Last up is Crawdaunt, as it powers up with sword stance. We take it out with a slash, winning the fight. Next up is Phoebe, who starts with a Dusclops. We stall out Protect and go for Shadow Ball, as it goes for Curse, taking itself out. We swap into Slakoth, as it goes for Bennett. Slaking comes back out and gets hit with Feint Attack. We go for Shadow Ball, as it goes for Grudge. We stall for a turn and take it out with Shadow Ball. Next up is Sableye. As we loaf around, it goes for Double Team. We go for Yawn, and it does another Double Team. We hit it with Shadow Ball, and it goes for Double Team. We swap in Swampert as it hits with Feint Attack. We miss our Surf and get hit with Shadow Ball. We take it out with a Surf. Slaking comes back out for the next Bennett. We go for Shadow Ball, and it survives off 1 HP and goes for Thunderbolt. After it heals up, we go for Shadow Ball, and it does Thunderbolt again. It does Thunderbolt one more time as we take it out with Shadow Ball. Last up is Dusclops, who hits with Earthquake as we go for Yawn, and it does another Earthquake. We loaf around, getting hit with another Earthquake. We land a Shadow Ball as it is asleep. Another Shadow Ball takes it out, winning the fight. We also evolve Loudred into Exploud, giving us 110 Pokemon. Next up is Glacia, who starts off with Celio. We do 2 Double Team as it sets up Hail and hits with Body Slam. We then proceed to use Calm Mind as it hits with Body Slam and paralyze us as it gets paralyzed too. We then take it out with a Thunderbolt with a +4 special attack. Next up is Glalie, who goes down to 1 Psychic. The second Glalie comes out and goes down to 1 Psychic. Next up is Helio, who goes down to 1 Thunderbolt. Last up is Walrein, who goes down to 1 Thunderbolt, winning us the fight. Next up is Drake, who starts off with Shelgon. We go for Ice Beam as it goes for Rock Tomb. It goes for Double Edge, and we take it out with Ice Beam. Next up is Altaria, who uses Double Edge as we go for Ice Beam. It does Double Edge again as we take it out with Ice Beam. We send out Breloom as Kingdra comes out. It goes for Surf as we go for Leech Seed. It uses Smokescreen and then Dragon Dance as we go for Sludge Bomb twice as it heals. It goes for Body Slam as we go for Sky Uppercut. It goes for Body Slam, taking us out. We send Slaking out, and it goes down to Leech Seed. We send in Swampert as Flygon comes out. It goes for Earthquake as we use Ice Beam. After it heals, we use Ice Beam again, and it takes us out with Earthquake. Slaking comes back out, we get hit with Earthquake, and then we take it out with Slash. We send out Exploud as Salamence comes out. We get taken out with Flamethrower. Swampert comes out as we get hit with Dragon Claw. We take it out with a critical Ice Beam, winning the fight. We also evolve Slakoth into Vigoroth, giving us 111 Pokemon. The final fight with Wallace is up next, who starts with Wailord. It goes for Blizzard and misses us as we land Leech Seed. It goes for a second Blizzard, taking us out. We send out Gardevoir, set up 6 Calm Mind as it spends its time going for Water Spout and healing up. We take it out with a Thunderbolt. Next up is Tentacruel, who hits us with Sludge Bomb, and we take it out with a Thunderbolt. Next out is Ludicolo, who hits us with Surf as we take it out with Psychic. Next up is Whiscash, who goes down to Psychic. Next up is Water Onix, who hits us with a hard Hyper Beam as we take it out with Thunderbolt. Last up is Milotic. After healing up as it hits us with 2 Surf, we take it out with Thunderbolt, winning us the fight and becoming the Hoenn champion. After the credits roll, We're back in our room. We leave, speak to our parents and Professor Birch, and leave to go catch a bunch of Pokemon. Starting with the desert underpass, we catch one Ditto and pick up the root fossil, talk to the dude in Rustboro to revive Anorith and Lileep, hatch 2 Mudkip. In the Safari Zone, catch 1 Doduo, 1 Natu, 1 Girafarig, 2 Pikachu, 1 Wobbuffet, 2 Psyduck, 2 Rhyhorn, 1 Dodrio, 1 Pinsir, 2 Phanpy, 1 Zaytu, 1 very evasive Heracross, 2 Hoot, 1 Stantler, 3 Mareep, 2 Sunkern, 2 Spinarak, 2 Snubbull, 1 Apalm, 1 Gligar, 2 Leddyba, 2 Houndour, 2 Pineco, 2 Teddiursa, 1 Miltank, 1 Shuckle, 1 Registeel, 1 Regirock, and 1 Regice in their respective caves, 1 Kyogre, 1 Groudon in their respective caves, receive a gift Beldum, 1 Shinron in Skypillar, 1 Corsola in Evergrande City, 1 Sudowoodo, and 1 Smeargle in the Battle Frontier, 2 Wooper and 2 Remoraid back in the Safari Zone, 1 Roaming Latios, hatch 1 Lileep, 1 Azurill, 1 Anorith, and 2 Beldum, and evolve 1 Feebas into Milotic, 1 Mudkip into Marshtomp, 1 Wailmer into Wailord, 1 Lyron into Aggron, 1 Spoink into Grumpig, 1 Vulpix into Ninetales, 1 Pikachu to Raichu, 1 Lombre to Ludicolo, 1 Nuzleaf to Shiftry, 2 Trapinch into Vibrava, 1 Vibrava into Flygon, 1 Corphish to Crawdaunt, 1 Cacnea into Cacturn, 1 Lileep into Cradily, 1 Anorith into Armaldo, 1 Duskull into Dusclops, 1 Snorunt into Glalie, 2 Spheal into Celio, 1 Celio into Walrein, 2 Bagon into Shelgon, 1 Shelgon into Salamence, 2 Beldum into Metang, 1 Metang into Metagross, 1 Sandshrew into Sandslash, 1 Psyduck into Golduck, 1 Gloom into Vileplume, 2 Abra into Kadabra, 2 Machop into Machoke, 1 Tentacle into Tentacruel, 1 Magnemite into Magneton, 1 Grimer into Muck, 1 Coughing into Wheezing, 1 Rhyhorn into Rhydon, 2 Horsey into Seadra, 1 Goldeen into Seaking, 1 Hoot into Noctowl, 1 Staryu into Starmie, 1 Leddyba into Leddian, 1 Spinarak into Ariados, 1 Chinchou into Lantern, 2 Mareep into Flaffy, 1 Flaffy into Ampharos, 1 Marill into Azumarill, 1 Pineco into Fortress, 1 Snubbull into Gramble, 1 Houndour into Houndoom, 1 Phanpy into Donphan, 1 Teddiursa into Ursaring, 1 Slugma into Magcargo, 1 Wooper into Quagsire, and 1 Remoraid into Octillery, giving us a total of 206 Pokemon. And that's everything we can get in our playthrough of Pokemon Emerald. But I hear you asking, how are we going to get the other 177 Pokemon? Well, in an alternate universe very similar to our Gen 1 Living Dex, we have a character obtaining all the Kanto Gym badges, taking on the Elite Four to become champion of the region, and catching Pokemon. Starting off in Pallet Town, we choose to start with Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur is the best Kanto starter. Any other choice and you're wrong. After being our rival, we go get the Parcel in Viridian City for Professor Oak, get the Pokedex, and begin catching Pokemon. On Route 1, we catch 1 Rattata and 1 Pidgey. On Route 22, we catch 1 Mankey and 1 Spearow. In Viridian Forest, we catch 1 Caterpie, 1 Weedle, and 2 Kakuna, bringing the total to 213 Pokemon. After taking care of Brock and getting the first badge, our Bulbasaur evolves an Ivysaur, which we won't count yet. We go through Mount Moon and catch 1 Paris and 2 Clefairy, pick up the Helix fossil, Route 5 for 1 Ekans, giving us 216 Pokemon. After getting the second badge from Misty, we catch a Meowth on Route 5. In Diglett's Cave, we catch 1 Diglett and 1 Dugtrio, and evolve Ivysaur into Venusaur, bringing the total to 220 Pokemon. After we get our third badge from Lieutenant Surge, we go to Route 11 to catch 1 Drowsy and 1 Spearow, Trade that Spearow for a Farfetch'd and Vermilion, go back to Route 25 to catch one Abra, trade that Abra on Route 2 for a Mr. Mime, receive an Amber Fossil in Pewter City, in Rock Tunnel we catch 2 Onyx, on Route 7 we catch 2 Growlithe, in Celadon City we get a Gift Eevee, beat up a mob boss, in the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town we get 1 Ghastly, 2 Haunter, and 1 Cubone, and on Route 16 we get 1 Snorlax, bringing the total to 228 Pokemon. After getting our 4th badge from Erica, we got our 5th badge from Koga, and went to the Safari Zone to catch 2 Nidorino, 1 male Nidoran, 2 Nidorina, and 2 Execute. We go to Silphco to receive a Gift Lapras, beat up that same mob boss from earlier, and receive a Gift Hitmonlee in the Fighting Dojo, giving us 236 Pokemon. After getting our 6th badge from Sabrina, we revive Aerodactyl and Ammonite on Cinnabar Island, and catch 1 Raticate in the Cinnabar Mansion. After getting our 7th badge from Blaine, we go to some of the Sevia Islands to catch 1 Fearow, 1 Venonat, 2 Pidgeotto, and 1 Hypno, to bring the total to 242 Pokemon. We get our last badge from the mob boss Giovanni, and left to catch Pokemon on Victory Road, including 1 Primeape, 1 Marowak, and 1 Arbok, giving us 245 Pokemon. After we take on the Elite Four, we become the champion of the Kanto region. There's a lot of Pokemon we skipped, so now that the gym badges are out of the way, in Viridian Forest we caught 2 Metapod, on Route 6 we get 3 Poliwhirl and 1 Poliwag, trade 1 Poliwhirl for Jinx in Cerulean City, back to the Safari Zone to get 3 Dratini, 1 Parasect, 1 female Nidoran, 1 Scyther, and 1 Kangaskhan. On Route 21 we catch 1 Tangela, on Kendall Road we catch 1 Ponyta, 1 Rapidash, and 1 Persian. In Icefall Cave we catch 1 Swinub, 1 Delibird, 1 Seal, and 1 Dugong. On the 5 Island Meadow we get 2 Sentret and 3 Hoppip. In the Ruin Valley we get 1 Yanma. On 3 Island we get 1 Dunsparce. In the Berry Forest we get 1 Venomoth. In Pallet Town we get 2 Shelder. On Cinnabar Island we catch 2 Krabby. Back to the Berry Forest for 1 Golduck. Trade that Golduck for a Lickitung on Route 18. Back to the Safari Zone for 2 Chansey and 1 Tauros. At the Power Plant we get 1 Electabuzz. Back to 5 Island we get 1 Quillfish and 1 Murkrow. At the Celadon Game Corner we buy 1 Porygon. On 7 Island we catch 2 Larvitar and 1 Unknown. On 1 Island we catch 1 Moltres. At the Power Plant we catch 1 Zapdos. At the Seafoam Islands 1 Articuno. In Cerulean Cave 1 Mewtwo. We also hatched 1 Togepi, 2 Bulbasaur, 3 Eevee, 1 Elekid, 1 Ammonite, 1 Cleffa, 1 Smoochum, and 2 Tyrogue. And evolved 1 Kakuna into Beedrill, 1 Metapod into Butterfree, 1 Pidgeotto into Pidgeot, 1 Chansey into Blissey, 1 Togepi into Togetic, 1 Clefairy into Clefable, 1 Nidorina into Nidoqueen, 1 Nidorino into Nidoking, 1 Growlithe into Arcanine, 1 Poliwhirl into Poliwrath, 1 Shelder into Cloyster, 1 Execute into Executor, 1 Krabby into Kingler, 2 Dratini into Dragonair, 1 Dragonair into Dragonite, 1 Larvitar into Pupitar, 1 Ammonite into Omastar, 1 Sentret into Furret, 2 Hoppip into Skiploom, 1 Skiploom into Jumpluff, 3 different Eevee into Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, 1 Bulbasaur into Ivysaur, and 1 Tyrogue into Hitmonchan, giving us a total of 313 Pokemon. We're still missing 70 Pokemon, so we're going to jump over to a different universe, where we're starting in the Ore region. This region has an organization that alters the hearts of Pokemon to shut them, turning them into Shadow Pokemon. With the help of a snag machine, we can essentially catch Shadow Pokemon, open their hearts, and purify them, allowing them to be traded over to a different universe. There's a total of 48 Shadow Pokemon on Pokemon Coliseum that we have to purify before we get the final Pokemon of the game, but we're only going to cover the ones that we need for the living dex. We enter Fennec City and find 2 shady characters carrying a heavy bag. Turns out there's a person in there. Yeah, okay, sure. She wants to go with us for a while, so now we have a companion. We automatically start with Espeon and Umbreon as our starters. Generic character Misty has the ability to see shadow Pokemon's aura, so we can catch them. We battle Mystery Troop Rosso in Phoenix City and are able to capture the Shadow Quilava, but we won't count anything until they're purified. In Pyrite Town, we battle Ryder Vant, who has a Shadow Mischievous at her companion spots. During the battle, Quilava's heart is ready to be opened as well. We're able to catch Mischievous. While in Pyrite Town, we battle Mirror B Peon Firma. Seriously, who comes up with these names? Who has a Shadow Mantine. Next, we battle Ryder T1, who has a Shadow Meditite. Before leaving Pyrite, we run into Mirror B, who has the best theme in this game, and his Pokemon match is Energy. In Agate Village, we battle Cypher Peon Scrub, who has a Shadow Hitmontop. After the battle, we have access to the Relic Shrine so we can purify Pokemon that have their hearts opened back up. With that, we purify Quilava and replace its Shadow Rush attack with Sunny Day and acquire all the EXP it got while opening its heart. We also purify all the Shadow Pokemon up to this point, including Mantine, Mischievous, Meditite, and Hitmontop, bringing the total to 319 Pokemon. After some battling, we evolve Quilava into Typhlosion. On Mount Battle, we run into Cypher Admin Dakram, who has a Shadow Entei. After going underneath Pyrite Town, we battle Cypher Admin Venus, who has a Shadow Suicune. Going further into the Under, we battle Bodybuilder Lania, who has a Shadow Piloswine, and Rider Nellis, who has a Shadow Sneasel. After that, we were able to purify more Pokemon, including Piloswine, Sneasel, and Entei, bringing the total to 323 Pokemon. We then battled Cypher Admin Ein, who has a Shadow Raikou. This one took a few tries. Afterwards, we purify Suicune, and after a while, Raikou, bringing the total to 325 Pokemon. At the top of Realgam Tower, Ansem from Kingdom Hearts makes an appearance and wants to battle, and has a Shadow Metagross. After that fight, the mayor of Phoenix City walks out and reveals himself to be Dr. Robotnik and wants to battle us, who has a Shadow Tyranitar. Instead of trying to battle it, we just use a Master Ball and catch it. After the battle, Dr. Robotnik tries to escape, but Ho-Oh stops that plan by blowing up his helicopter. Later in the Cypher hideout, we run into Cypher Peon Verde, who has a Shadow Bayleaf, and Cypher Peon Bluno in the Shadow Pokemon Lab, who has a Shadow Croconaw. After catching both of them, it was time to go back to Agate Village, where we take the time to purify everything else. We purify Bayleaf, Croconaw, and Tyranitar. In the process of purifying, Bayleaf evolves into Meganium, and Croconaw evolves into Feraligatr, giving us 328 Pokemon. After we catch and purify all 48 Pokemon, we're able to take on the Mount Battle Challenge and Battle Mode's Coliseum Battle. After we take on 99 trainers one right after another in a gauntlet style, which took about 5 hours, we reach the top and beat the final trainer, and Ho-Oh appears in my box, giving us 329 Pokemon. Our last stop is 5 years later in XD Gala Darkness. There's a few Pokemon we have to get from this game from the same region, Ore. Instead of playing as a brooding villain turned hero, we play as a child that gets a metal arm.
You have a metal arm? That is awesome, dude!
We also use the Scouter to see shadow Pokemon. There's also a much improved system to purify Pokemon in the lab that allows us to purify up to 9 Pokemon at a time. Just like in Coliseum, purifying Pokemon unlocks their moves and experience points. There are also 3 areas where we can actually catch Pokemon. Just like in Coliseum, we'll just cover the Pokemon that we need to catch and purify. In the Rock Pokespot, we catch a Trapinch. We trade this Trapinch for a Meditite from Duking. In Phoenix City, we run into Cypher Peon Fasten, who has a Shadow Roselia that we catch. We also run into Cypher Admin Snaddle, who has a Shadow Lunatone. At Outskirt Stand, we are given a Shadow Togepi by Hordle. At the Cypher Key Lair, we battle Zook, who has a Shadow Zangoose. Next we battle Cypher Peon Angic, who has a Shadow Weepinbell. At Citadark Isle, we fight Cypher Peon Groupel, who has a Shadow Magmar. After that battle is Cypher Peon Leiden, who has a Shadow Scyther. At the very top we run into Greevil, who's been behind the Cypher organization and was able to successfully create a Pokemon immune to purification. After monologuing his plan, we battle and capture the Shadow Lugia. After that, we purify Roselia, Lunatone, Togepi, Zangoose, Weepinbell, Magmar, Scyther, and evolve Meditite and a Medicham. We then purify Lugia by setting all 9 sets to maximum, giving us 337 Pokemon. Now that we've completed all the games we need, it's time to trade everything over from all of the games, starting with XD Gale of Darkness. By connecting a Game Boy Advance with a GBA to GC adapter, we can trade over all the Pokemon that we need, including evolving Scyther into Scizor. Trading next from Colosseum, we trade over all the Pokemon from that game over to Emerald. After that, we trade over all the Pokemon from Fire Red that we caught over to Emerald, including evolving some that won't show due to us needing to trade them to Fire Red to evolve and not being able to cancel the evolution. But we get Alakazam, Machamp, Golem,
Politoed,
and Gengar. After all of the trading, we're still about 40 Pokemon short. So how do we get those? Well, as it turns out, another player was nice enough to trade over the last of the Pokemon that we needed, including Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Bellsprout, Victreebel, Kabuto, Kabutops, Pichu, Igglybuff, Sunflora, Bellossom, Slowking, Steelix, Chikorita, Bayleaf, Cyndaquil, Quilava, Totodile, Croconaw, Kingdra, Porygon 2, Magby, Surskit, Masquerain, Latias, Huntail, Gorbis, Trico, Grovyle, Sceptile, Torchic, Combuskin, and Blaziken. We also evolved Jigglypuff into Wigglytuff, giving us 382 Pokemon and completing the challenge. Now, I did say earlier in the video we would have one extra Pokemon. There was a retro game store called Found It Electronics in Watauga, Texas, that was doing a distribution event for Generation 3. I was lucky enough to be able to take a small road trip out there. By hooking up my Game Boy Advance with either Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire to their GameCube, I was able to get the mythical Pokemon Jirachi. And after getting back home, I traded it over to Emerald, giving us 383 Pokemon. In Lily Cove City at the motel, you can go up to the second floor and speak to the game designer with a complete Pokedex to receive a diploma. In hindsight, there were Pokemon I could have caught in different games that would have saved a lot more time. Could I have planned out this living dex better? Yes. Am I upset that I didn't? Yes. I think somebody's at the door. Give me one sec. So big box, right? Well, we got a letter, as per usual. Dear Pokemon Trainer Asa Bade, you have once again completed a challenge that very few are able to. Congratulations on completing the Hoenn Region Pokedex. We know that this is probably the most daunting Pokedex to complete, with the sheer amount of regions you have to go to. It is looking like you're going to be the one to go to the distance. We have received word from Professor Rowan, who needs your help in completing a special Pokedex in the Sinnoh region. Will you be the one to take on this challenge? Sincerely, the Hoenn League's Evergrande Conference. P.S. Inside this box is a small token of appreciation. A map. We have a map of Hoenn, which is really cool. The Hoenn League's Evergrande Conference. And look, it's their certificate with all the badges. I guess this is what our next challenge is going to be. So, that's pretty cool. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to see what else we're doing, check out the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AceofBade. You can also watch the entire journey on the VODs channel. All the links are in the description below. But that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.